Hello, what's good YouTube? It is your host AG Samurai here, and welcome to the channel. I make what ifs, and yeah, here's another part 2. What if Asta was Fujitora's reincarnation? Yay! Before we start off, with this what if, guys, I want to apologize for the fact that I have not posted in a long time, and the reason for that was pretty simple. My family came over to visit. Now, I was originally not supposed to. I was supposed to come back in like 4 days, but the thing was, they they stayed here for an entire week. All right, and the thing was, whenever I ever got the opportunity to record, we would leave it in the next second, considering the fact that we took them to different places, and yeah, it was just we went too many places. Luckily, now I'm back. I don't know for how long, cause with my family, things just happen, all right? I can't plan things out. Like, they tell me right in the midst of when it's happening that we're going to be doing something. So I really can't plan out the future. What I can do is try giving you guys the content that you guys deserve to the best of my abilities. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for your support and your patience for waiting for me. And here's the part that you guys have been waiting for. So with all that being said, let's begin.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, let's begin this what if. Hope the guys do enjoy, and let's begin. But before we do that, a little bit of a reminder here. Number one is the fact that, guys, if you hear any background noises, please ignore it. That'll be very helpful to me, and also will make the video much more enjoyable. And also, if you guys hear sometimes that my voice changes or just the tone of it changes, it's mostly due to the fact that during the point of these videos, I'll be editing. Not editing a lot, because that would just make me uploading this video take much longer, but I will be editing, okay? So if you guys hear any changes, please ignore it and just continue on with the story. And if you guys can do that, I'm very thankful. And now I believe it's time for us to begin this what if. So let's begin. So guys, we now kick off this what if with Asta's arrival at the Black Bull's base. He has just been accepted into the Magic Knights, and currently right now he's in front of the, incredibly damaged Black Bull's base as we see the chaos that was erupting on the inside. I mean, I understand that they're currently considered worst of the worst, but they're behaving worse than even the kids in the orphanage. Asta will mentally sweat drop as he would see the destruction that was happening in front of him. Magma and Love will currently right now be fighting against each other, as Asta didn't really know what it was, something about someone touching someone's food. But Nessa was currently right now laid out drunk, as she had a bunch of alcohol in her hand, and she was barely wearing any clothing. And finally there was Gray and Ghosh, who were, they were kind of doing their own thing. However, after a while of seeing this, Yami would then suddenly step up, as he suddenly slams his fist into the base, telling everyone to shut up and behave, which causes Asta to look at him even more sweat drop. You do realize you're destroying more of your base, right? Asta would say. As eventually we now move forward to when it was time for the introductions. Alright kid, you step up, Yami would say as he looks at Asta. Asta would step up and he would get a bunch of looks from the ladies, because this man looking nice, as he would then speak up and introduce himself. I'm Asta from Hodge Village. It will be nice working with you guys. Oh, he's nice, Charmy would say as she nods her head, with Vanessa also adding on. And she says that Asta is actually pretty impressive to come from Hodge Village to enter the Black Bulls. That means he has power. However, this is when Magma would then get up in Asta's face. Whoa there, buddy. You're not part of the Black Bulls just yet. You have to get through the baptism first. Now, of course, hearing this, an ominous pressure would then set in. However, Asta completely ignores it, as with that, Asta would then give him a calm smile. I'll accept any challenge that's thrown my way. Now, Magma would get it, pissed off about this, but mentally he was just thinking dang, Asta is manly. Now, normally in this situation, he thought Asta, just from his appearance alone, that Asta would be kind of hot-tempered and respond to his energy, but instead Asta was taking this rather calmly. In fact, he looked really mature, which was odd, but Magma decided to slide. It's all about power in the end, and let's see how manly Asta can be. However, as he does, Yami was paying close attention to Asta, however, more specifically, the wooden sword that Asta had crafted. He'll be staring at it for a while, and this is when suddenly he ends up speaking up. Look, you're doing the baptism. Now, hearing this, everyone would actually be surprised at this, with Luck, cheering about it, considering the fact he gets to do the baptism, with Magma just in dismay, because he never got an opportunity to test out Asta. However, as they do so, Asta will be looking at Yami, with Yami, looking back at him, as right now both of them were sizing each other up. Or more precisely, Yami was trying to get a read on this kid. I know he's not been here for that long, but still, this kid. Now, unbeknownst to the rest of the Black Bulls, Yami had been trying to find any opening in Asta. He was trying to see exactly what was the level of this kid, and to his surprise, throughout the entire time they've been together, Asta has not let one opening for Yami. Like, this kid is completely guarded, even though he looks relaxed, even though he doesn't even look tense. There's no openings for Yami to strike. So if they were to get in a fight, Asta would be completely ready for it. And honestly, it surprised Yami just because of the fact that Asta was so young. And also another thing that catches attention, the wooden sword. Now Yami, he already knows what it is. It's a katana. However, the one thing he wants to know is how does this kid know it's a katana? After all, from what he's seen so far, no one else has ever even seen a katana before he even arrived. Yet this kid knows of it. Now this causes Yami to have many questions. However, for now, he decided he was going to test out Asta and to see exactly how much does he know. And depending on his answer, Yami will find out what to do with him. As with that, we will now move towards the baptism. Lug will be jumping around excited as he tells Asta that he could already tell he was strong, with Asta nodding his head, telling Lug that he could already tell he was strong. Well then, it's time for us to begin. So, shall we? At this, Lug would nod, telling Asta that it was very simple to pass his baptism. All I had to do was show Asta exactly how strong he is. Oh, and that he has to give him a good fight. Are you ready? At this, Asta would then nod his head calmly, which causes Lug to then smile as he then dashes towards Asta in a bolt of lightning. He would instantly appear in front of him with his lightning claws and boots as he tries to swipe at Asta. However, just as he was close to Asta, he would then feel it. His senses were screaming. Every part of his body was telling him to run away. As in that split instinct, on pure instinct alone, Lug's body would then suddenly move away from Asta, getting at least like 20 feet away from him. The rest of the Black Bulls would be surprised, with Mamo just being in shock. I mean, he's seen Lug many times. He's seen Lug do some crazy things, but he's never once seen Lug retreat. As Lug would currently right now be 20 feet away from Asta, he was staring at him, panting a little bit. What was that? Oh, what's that? He would say as he looks at Asta. At this, Asta seeing Lug would then begin to chuckle. I'm sorry, I guess I took it a little bit too far. Don't worry, I'll listen it up a little bit. But this time, why don't you try coming at me with a different angle? Don't try to attack me up front like that. At this, the others wonder what he meant, but Lug already knew. In that split instant, as Lug was closing and nearing in on Asta, Asta had about many opportunities to strike him down and finish off the fight if he wanted to. This guy, just who is he? Lug would say as he tries to calm himself down and get control over himself, and eventually ends up doing so. At this, he turns to Asta just as Asta begins to lower down this pressure. However, as he does, Lug will then shake his head. No, go back to how you were. Trust me, it's perfect. Let me savor this opportunity. I never got to fight someone this strong before. Now, this will surprise again the Black Bulls as they did not expect this from Lug. However, this causes Yami to be even more intrigued about Asta and his power. Asta hearing this will look at Lug before smiling gently as he would then begin to release his pressure. Alright, you asked for it. Now, at this pressure, Lug would legit struggle to even breathe as the pressure was crushing him down, almost feeling gravity itself was against him. This is it. To think I'll meet someone this strong. I'm getting excited. No, I can't miss this opportunity. I gotta give it my all. At this, Lug begins to charge up a generous blow of lightning as he then dashes towards Asta at full speed. Now at this, Asta will be there watching Lug with an amused expression as Lug would swipe at Asta's face. This time, even though his instincts were telling him not to do so, he would ignore them and actually force his body to do so. However, as he does, Asta would just suddenly phase out. What? At this, he would then be surprised to see that the Asta he just attacked was an after image, as right behind him, he would then sense a pressure. And where exactly do you think you're attacking? At this, Lug would be surprised as Asta in that split instant had appeared right behind Lug, which causes Lug to get pissed off as he then swings his lightning boots, trying to throw an axe kick. Now, as he does, Asta will then duck down, dodging the kick with ease, as he'd be looking directly into Lug's eyes before suddenly he ends up palm striking Lug in the stomach. Lug would then be sent flying and crashing through a bunch of trees, just as Asta has landed that blow, causing the rest of the Black Bulls to be surprised. Holy crap! He sent Lug flying! Magma will say as he points at Asta in amazement as he's just impressed by how gosh darn manly Asta is. The rest of the Black Bulls are just in shock of his strength, while Yami He's honestly beginning to realize it. The pressure, the way Asta moves, there's just no way that kid is, well, actually a kid. It makes no sense. As the way Asta was moving and just the way how he was acting in general, it was that of an experienced soldier. And trust me, Yami would understand what it's like being an experienced soldier. As he'll be staring at Asta in wonder and, trying to piece together who exactly this guy is or where exactly he came from. This is when Luck would then suddenly end up bursting out of the forest. However, he was legit not doing so well. The attack had actually caused Luck to throw up a little bit and caused him to be a little bit in a daze, but due to Luck being Luck, he did not give up as he rushed towards Asta. Now, seeing the attack coming, Asta would of course block any of Luck's attacks and actually send him flying again, just by casually tossing him over his shoulder. This would be the fight as Luck would charge at Asta over and over again. However, each time Asta would toss him about or legit just playfully jump over him. Now, Luck was clearly outmatched as Yami was beginning to think that now it's time for him to call the match. Alright, Luck, that's enough, Yami was going to say, as Naga will be shouting at Luck to give up. Come on, man, give up now. It's clear that this kid beat you fair and square. However, this one, to the shock of the Black Bulls, Luck would then scream out, "No, shut up, you don't need to tell me none of that. I can beat this guy for sure. There's no way I can lose." Now, this will cause the Black Bulls to be surprised as Luck at this point was shaking. At this, they will never seen Luck react like this before. Heck, this is the first time we've really seen Luck get in this type of situation. Now, Luck was not the strongest member of the Black Bulls, obviously, but he definitely wasn't weak. And to see him in this state, it was shocking. I have to win. I have to. At this, Luck will begin to remember all the times when he was younger and how he would always fight and try to win as he needed to win. It wasn't the fact that what he could and what he couldn't do. It was the fact he was required to win. And even now, he is required to beat Asta. As Luck charges up again, already knowing that he has to win no matter what, even if it meant permanently injuring himself, this is when suddenly a nice pressure would then fall upon him. It was warm. At this, Luck would then be surprised as around his surroundings, he would feel like he was in a spring field. As everywhere around him, there will be daisies. It would look like as if spring had just rolled around and he was inside an entire field of flowers. Luck would be amazed by this feeling as he couldn't believe it. Before snapping out of his daze, he would actually look up to see a hand on his shoulder. That's enough. At this, Luck would look up as he would be surprised to see Asta. At this, also during the entire time of fighting Luck, he began to see it. Just how far this kid's sanity went down during the fight. At first, it was pretty obvious as, Luck was over here being a battle junkie, but it seems as if he had enough mental control. However, throughout the fight and after flipping him around multiple times, Luck also had noticed it. Just how far Luck's mentality went. And seeing how far he was willing to go to win, this caused Asta to actually, try to fix it. After all, no one should go down that path, especially Luck, who's especially really young. So with that, Asta then decides to give Luck a talk. Now that he has him, calm down and relax, he tells Luck that he really can just fight for himself. While yes, it's good to fight for others, it's also good to be mindful for himself. After all, Luck has his own values, and Luck should value himself more. And due to this, after giving Luck this powerful speech, Luck will be looking at Asta in surprise. As the way that Asta was speaking to Luck, I would say it was like a big brother tone. Because Asta, well, he was a big brother for a lot of kids in the orphanage. So, of course, he would know how to be as a big brother. Especially with Fujitora, combined with him. Asta be hitting with that powerful speech, But thanks to the speech, Asta was giving off warm energy and was pretty much being a big brother figure to Luck. As it would cause Luck to actually relax and he would actually begin to feel a little bit emotional from it. At this, Luck would just nod his head, saying that he understood, before getting up, as well as Asta, because he was kneeling down to give Luck the pep talk. And after getting up, Bango would then rush over to Luck, telling him what the heck was all that about, as Luck was looking quite insane, more than usual. Now hearing this, Luck would then shake off his emotions a little bit, telling Magma that he was fine. However, he does tell Asta that he won this fight, before, of course, warning Asta, saying that next time that they fight, he was gonna win. Well, then I'll be waiting for your challenge. At this, Luck would then have an excited expression on his face. However, it looks way more relaxed. Not something you should see on someone who is known as a battle freak. Now, of course, after this, Yami would then walk over, as he would then suddenly give Asta the Black Bull's robe. Is this mine? At this, Yami would nod his head. Of course, kid, who else was gonna be? Now, at this, Asta would nod his head, accepting it. However, as Yami does give Asta the robe, he does end up muttering this. Now, it was only to the point where Asta could hear it and no one else. But what Asta ends up hearing already makes Asta understand that he did the right choice when it came to picking out the squad. Hey kid, nice job on helping our little battle freak there. At this, Yami would say this with a focused expression, causing Asta to look at him surprised, but end up nodding his head, telling Yami that they're squad mates now, so of course he would help them out. Now hearing this, Yami would chuckle, as this is when the rest of the Black Bulls would then run over, as he begins to talk how amazing Asta was, as well as giving him the full Black Bull setup, before deciding that they're going to throw a miniature celebration for Asta's arrival. However, as this was happening though, Asta could already feel it. Someone's gaze was upon them. At this, Asta would already understand that this gaze wasn't hostile, but it definitely wasn't exactly friendly either. As Asta was walking around smiling, he would sneak a glance at the direction to see a girl with long and silver hair. The girl would be surprised at Asta seeing her. She would then, hide away. However, as she does, she would then suddenly peek out to see that Asta was no longer there. How did he do that? Heck, I didn't even see him use magic. Just who is this guy? At this, we will then see it be Noel Silva, as this is where we're now moving forward. For the next following days, Asta would stay at the Black Bulls base, as on the very next day, he'll be waking up by Magma, who begins to take Asta all around, showing him all the tasks he has to do. Now, Asta would be accustomed to this task really easily, mostly due to the fact that, he lived in the orphanage and had to take care of all his siblings, so of course he'll be used to it. Now, while doing so, and as they were walking around, Asta would eventually end up arriving at the beast cage, to where Magma tells him that it's up to him to feed them, to which was simple enough. Asta will then grab a steak of meat as he then walks over to the beast, and the beasts at first are terrified of Asta. They're legit all the way as far back as they could. Holy crap, I've never seen them like this unless it was with Captain Yami. Now hearing this, Asta would then shake his head, telling Magma that everything was fine. It's just the fact that they didn't get to know him. At this, Asta would then suddenly end up changing the pressure. The pressure would then begin to relax the beast, as this one suddenly, when they would then run over and actually bite into the meat, while also actually allowing Asta to pat them on the head. Now this will surprise Magma, as Asta is legit treating these dangerous beasts that legit will gobble you up and chew you out and spit you out. He's treating them as if they're actual pets, they're small little animals, like a dog or a cat. Now after a while of doing this, Asta would then turn back to Magma, showing him that he was done, so Magma can just do nothing more but just compliment Asta for how manly he was. After that, the two of them begin to get to talking, as Magma wanted to know exactly what was Asta's training regimen and what did he do to get this strong. Now Asta would explain to Magma some of his simple training regimens, but while doing so, they'll then hear laughter from Noel. Sorry, you commoners are so entertaining, yet you're so putrid. It brings enjoyment to me, yet it also brings disgust, Noel would say, as Magma hearing this would then get pissed off. And where were you yesterday? You haven't done your baptism yet. At this, Magma was kind of upset, as he wasn't able to give Noel baptism, mostly due to the fact because, she's a noble and everything, but gosh dang it, he was getting tired of her attitude. Now seeing this, Noel would then move her attention onto Asta. You, what royal family do you hail from? Now hearing this, Asta would look at Noel before suddenly patting his head, giving her a small little chuckle. Sorry, but I'm not from a royal family. I'm actually from Hodge Village. Now hearing this, Noel's face would then curl up in disgust, telling Asta that he doesn't have the right to even speak to her in that casual way. Now hearing this, Asta's eyes would then sharpen a little bit. Now this will cause Noel to actually jump back a little bit, actually being surprised since the aura that Asta was giving off was that of friendly, but now it completely changed. Magma was also in shock, as so far the entire time that Asta's been here, he's been relatively friendly. In fact, he's never sensed any malice coming from Asta. And honestly, it kind of surprised him, but now it's as if Asta's entire mood had changed. At this, Asta then gives Noel a look before finally giving her a smile. That is your own states and opinions, but I do hope that one day you do change them. After all, don't judge someone based on just status alone. You should base them on your character, At this, Asta was going to give Noel a mature smile before telling Magma that he was quite hungry and was wondering if there was anywhere they could eat. Now hearing this and just seeing how mature Asta took this, Magma would just mutter how manly Asta was and that he should follow his example, telling Asta that there was a good place. As the two were about to head off to that direction, talking about what type of food they were going to eat, Noel would then stop them, actually feeling offended by the fact that Asta had dared talk down to her, or at least that's how she saw it. You dare have the right to lecture me? Learn your place, commoner. At this, Noah will then shoot off a water ball that was supposed to be aimed at Asta, but then try switching its targets to Magma. Now, Magma would of course be caught off guard by it and didn't have a chance to react. However, in that split instant, as the water ball was about to hit him, Asta would have cut it apart, causing the attack to disperse and actually causing the water to not hit Magma. Ooh, thanks. That was good looking out. At this, Asta would nod his head before looking at Noelle, as Noelle seeing Asta's look would then be reminded by the looks of her family, as she sees Asta's look of that of disappointment. Now, of course, seeing this, Noelle would then strip off the Black Bull's robe, telling them that she hates the Super Squad and she doesn't want to be a part of it anymore, before dashing off. What the heck? You just attacked me, now you're dipping? What's wrong with this girl? And after saying that, Magma would then pick up the Black Bull's robe, of course, soothing it, apparently treating it as if it's a living being, while Asta pays attention to Noelle, as he realized just exactly what happened with her. So we now move forward, as after a while of just eating, as they went to the dining area, Asta went out to train for a little bit. He began doing his regular katas as well as his regular training regimen. However, as he was doing so, this was suddenly he ends up hearing a ginormous splash going about, as well as cries of frustration. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! At this, Asta would walk towards the direction, as he would then see Noelle, who currently right now was practicing her magic on this ginormous rock. However, the thing was, a lot of the rocks that were there, some of them had holes in them. The only thing is, the surrounding area wasn't as lucky as well, as most of the surrounding area was also damaged. At this, Asta would be there watching silently, as Noelle would shoot out attack after attack after attack, but each one of them will miss the direction that she was trying to hit. Dang it! Why? Why won't this work? Why am I so weak? Noelle would say, as she gets angry, and with a cry of frustration, she tries throwing another attack, but this time it actually backfires, as it would end up hitting Noelle, causing her to be swallowed up. Now, seeing this, Asta would see it get lifted up into the air, and he blitzes into action. Using the power of his gravity fruit, Asta would then make himself weight less, as he ends up kicking off the ground, actually flying up into the air, chasing after the water ball as it was expanding in size. With the rest of the Black Bulls, they begin to feel the tremendous amount of magic building up, so they head outside to see it, only to see Noelle up in the air, in her ginormous water prison practically, with Asta hot on her trail. Just what the heck is this girl doing? Magma would say. As the rest of the Black Bulls are watching all this, they're planning to help out, but this is when Yami would then actually tell them to stand back. No, let's let the rookie handle this, he would say, as Yami just wanted to use this as more of an opportunity to test out how strong Asta was, or more of Asta's abilities. We will see Asta as he was arriving all the way to the water bubble, and with a slash, he ends up cutting it apart instantly. Now this will cause Noelle to be released from it, just as she was about to fall into unconsciousness. Now Noelle would of course be surprised by how Asta cut the water bubble, but she would then be even more surprised as he would catch her, and then would just be casually floating down. What? Wait, what? What's going on? At this, Noelle would then look at Asta's face, and to her surprise, Asta was smiling maturely at her, causing her to blush, as this is when Asta would then begin to explain that he understands her. Explain to Noelle that he understands why her magic acts the way it does. Now hearing this, Noelle would then close her eyes, just as Asta and her would land onto the ground, and as she does, she'll see herself surrounded by all the Black Bulls, and still being held up by Asta. Here it is, the embarrassment. At this, she'll close her eyes, waiting for them to mock her. However, to her surprise, everyone begins to compliment her, just telling her that she needs a little bit more control. Great, not only is she a noble, but she has amazing magical power. Gosh dang it, this sucks. All she needs is more control, and I'm screwed, Magma will say. At this, Luck ends up laughing, telling Noelle that she would be a very good sparring partner, and asks that if she needs help controlling him, then they both of them can fight each other. And Vanessa would say that she knows a few shops around that could actually help her with her magic. And after hearing all these praises and pretty much all the advice that could help her get stronger, Noelle would be surprised and actually be very thankful for them. However, as she does, she will feel herself be put down, as Asta will then begin to walk off. Now, of course, seeing this, she runs after Asta, actually telling him that what she did was, unroyal-like, but Asta doesn't shake his head. Like I said before, I don't care about status. What I do care about is your personality. I want to see what type of person you truly are, and only you yourself can show me who that is. After hearing these inspiring words, Noelle will be looking at Asta in shock, as she just couldn't believe it. And it was at this point that Noelle would actually realize the gap between her and Asta. While she was too hung up on her status of being a royal, Asta didn't care about none of that. At this, she could see it in Asta's eyes, and just by the way he acts, that just the way he speaks of it, is someone who experienced life truly. And she was honestly memorized and captivated by it, which actually causes her to blush a little bit. As Noelle will see Asta beginning to walk away from her, she will then shout out to Asta, telling him that she will show Asta who she truly is. And Asta, hearing this, will then give her a smile, telling her that when he does, then he'll be gladly willing to befriend her. Now, of course, seeing the smile that Asta gives her causes Noelle to blush, as this was when Noelle fully develops a crush on Asta, as we're now moving forward. For the next following days, Noelle adjusts to the Black Bulls pretty quickly. Now, the thing is, there's a difference here. Noelle doesn't really do much of the royal comments anymore. So you know how in the anime when she's pretty much explains like, oh, she's royalty and all this stuff, she doesn't do it as much, mostly, or she doesn't do it at all practically when Asta's around. Now, she doesn't really know why she does it, but she mostly just says that it's because of the fact that, well, it's the Black Bull's influence rubbing off on her. However, we all know why she's really doing it. But moving on from Noelle, we would then turn to Asta, as during the following times of him staying at the Black Bulls, Asta had developed a schedule, and as he'd been looked at the Black Bulls, being somewhat of a, well, he's pretty much known as the mature one in the Black Bulls. Asta spends his time taking care, cleaning the Black Bull's base, helping out if needed, and actually doing some intense training. The Black Bulls were amazed, as during the first time of him staying there, Asta had trained so hard that he stayed until nighttime before eventually returning back. Now, of course, this would surprise the Black Bulls, but they didn't care much, with Magma only making comments like how manly Asta was, and Luck honestly being even more inspired to fight Asta again. And while doing so, Asta also took on many quests for the Black Bulls, mostly due to the fact that he found out early on about the negative stars, and him, wanting to help out his squad, he decided to take on missions. Asta would take on missions daily, as he uses them as a form of training or testing out new techniques. During this time, Asta would actually begin to expand his techniques, not making them stronger as he could, if he wanted to, but right now what he was trying to do was create a few more techniques. Now, right now, at this point, Asta had unlocked most of the techniques that he had in his past life as Fujitora. But right now, he wants to focus on creating more techniques due to the fact that, well, this was an opportunity for Fujitora, or should I say Asta, to finally to finally go even further than he did in his past life, to really push the limits. So with that, he began to experiment with a few techniques in the dungeon and began to cook up some pretty fire-ass techniques. You guys will soon find out later in the future. As we now turn to a specific day, as one day Magma and Yami had returned back from being completely swept out at Magma's village. Now they went there to play, they went there to gamble with the village elder, but unfortunately they got cleaned out quick before they even got a chance. So due to this, Magma and Yami had to pay up a debt, and so they decided to help out the village elder with the current mission, which actually caused them to bring Asta and Noelle along, which brought them to this point. Deep in the forest, you'll see Asta beating up on boars with his bare hands, not even relying on his sword on this one. Now, while doing so, Noelle was just there, watching Asta, and she was just in a daze by just how Asta was doing things, with Magma just once again commenting on it, just how manly Asta was. Oh my gosh, how long are you going to say that? Are you not going to help him out? At this, Magma then begins to sweat a little bit, as he then shakes his head, screaming at Noelle, "Hey, I'm the senpai here, alright? I'm the one who tells you guys what to do, so how will you guys know what to do when doing these missions?" At this, Noelle would look at Magma as if he was an idiot, telling him that it doesn't make any sense. But after a while, these two bickering, this is when Asta would suddenly slam a ginormous boar in its face before tossing it over to them. As right now, right beside them, there was a ginormous pile of boars. Well, that should clean them up. That was the last one of them, Asta would say. As after taking down these boars with his bare hands, he then walks over to them, picking up his wooden sword and putting it back in his sheath. Now, as seeing the sword, Magma then begins to question Asta. "Hey, Asta, what exactly is the point of that wooden sword? I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks cool and everything, but you can get an actual sword, right? You don't need to use that wooden thing anymore. With how much money you're getting from all those quests, you should have enough to actually buy yourself one, shouldn't you?" At this, Noelle would actually ask the same question, as she looks at Asta confused, but Asta wouldn't shake his head. Nah, I'm fine with this one for now. I'll find my true blade later on, but for now I'm gladly okay with using this. Now, of course, the Black Bulls would be confused about this, but as they were thinking, Asta would suddenly sense something up ahead. There's trouble. At this, Asta would then use his gravity field as he would then speed up with a bunch of speed, kicking off the ground, as thanks to this, he would easily outspeed both Magma and Noel, with both of them trying to play catch up with him. Wait, slow down! Gosh dang it, what makes this guy so fast? They'll have to say, as Asta was like pretty bulky, like my gosh, and he was over here outspeeding them? Like, geez, what type of training does this guy do? Eventually, they would end up arriving at the location where Asta is. However, as they do, they wouldn't see a generous amount of fog covering up the whole village. By this point, they already know that Asta had dashed up inside there, but something was definitely wrong. Someone's attacking the village, Bang will say as he tries dashing up ahead, trying to chase after Asta with Noel following him. Inside the village, we will see the elder of the village currently right now down on his knees, as he couldn't really exactly keep up with Heath and his men. At this, as he would ask the man one last time for the magical stone, the man would say that he doesn't know, to which sadly Heath will then shake his head, telling him that he is a waste of time, and that he shall now die. At this, he will send a generous ice shard at the old man, trying to end his life, but as he does, the blade of ice would then be reflected, causing it to be shattered in an instant. Now, I do believe you're being quite unreasonable here. After all, the man said he didn't know where it was. At this, Heath and his men would then be surprised as, walking out of the smoke, walking out of the mist, he will see none other than Asta, as he would arrive casually with his wooden sword on hand, and as he does, he would turn to the old man, walking up to him, before casually just, picking him up and slinging him over his shoulder. Now, let's give this old man some time to rest, shall we? At this, Heath and his men would be silent as they were surprised by the way Asta was moving, or the way that he pretty much showed no openings. Is he underestimating us? Now, right now, Asta's guard was completely down. In fact, it looked like if they were to attack him, they would be able to finish him in an instant. Now, this would cause some of Heath's men to actually think that Asta was weak, or begin to prepare an attack to finish him off, thinking that they would be able to do so easily. But Heath could feel that something was wrong. Why? This makes no sense. From the way he's walking, and the fact that he was able to deflect my attack, this makes no sense. After saying this, Heath will see Asta put the old man down next to his grandson, which caused the grandson to be emotional, asking his grandfather if he was going to be alright, only for him to feel a tap on the head. At this, he'll see Asta, who was smiling at him before patting him on his head, telling him that his grandfather was going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be alright now that I'm here. Why don't you guys go sit back and relax? I'll take care of it from here. At this, the boy will look at Asta in surprise before nodding his head, thanking Asta, as he would then stand right beside his grandfather to protect him, while Asta turns to the rest of Heath's men. Well then, it seems as if you guys caused these villagers quite a big amount of trouble, so I'm gonna have to pay you back for that one. Now at this point, Heath's men were tired of Asta and his arrogance, or at least that's what they see in their eyes, as one of them wanted to shoot off a ginormous ice shard at Asta, telling him that he shouldn't talk to them so casually. However, as he says this though, this is when suddenly, in that split instant, the man would then suddenly end up stop moving. At this, the rest of his comrades would then be surprised as the attack would stop as soon as it was shot out, and their colleague would then fall to the ground, collapse with a ginormous slash mark across his chest. Now this will surprise Heath and his men as they had not even seen the attack coming, before suddenly this is when the rest of them would then fire off an attacks, calling Asta a bastard. However, in that split instant, Asta would then suddenly end up vanishing. In that split instant, all of Heath's men would then get cut up, as they would get ginormous slash marks across their bodies before finally falling down to the ground, either unconscious or heck, some of them even dead. By the time Asta would then appear right in front of Heath again, Heath would see that almost all his men were taken down, with only 2 of them left standing. And these 2 were the only ones that did not fire an attack, mostly due to the fact that they, just like Heath, had realized that this guy was on a different level. This will be behind schedule. Listen, give us a stone, or else they will die. At this, Heath will then begin to create ginormous ice shards in front of on top of all the villagers, causing them to panic, but Asta wouldn't smile, telling them that everything was going to be fine. As with that, Asta would then turn to Heath, telling him that he has no idea what this stone is, or what exactly he wants, and even if he did, he wouldn't give it to him. This will set Heath off as he tells Asta that thanks to his foolishness, all these villagers were going to die. As with the snap of his fingers, ginormous amounts of heavy ice shards would then fall from the sky, ready to land on top of the villagers and, of course, pierce through them. As the villagers cower, ready for the pain, however, this is when suddenly all the ice shards would then be blown back by an invisible force. What? At this, Heath would then be surprised, as well as the rest of his men, as this is when they would then feel a pressure set upon them. Like I said, I don't know what a stone is, and even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. What is going to happen right now, though, is you guys are going to be restrained, and you guys will pay for what you did, whether by law or by me. At this, Asta would say it as his voice would then take a heavy tone, causing this pressure to intensify, and also causing Heath and his men to not be able to move. Who is this guy? There has never been a report on him. We should have seen him coming. Just who is he? At this, the man was currently, Heath himself wasn't even able to keep composure anymore, as he was legit terrified of Asta. However, as he thinks this though, this is when suddenly magma would then rush in, as he throws a ginormous explosion directly into Heath's face, causing him to be sent flying and crashing back into a nearby wall. Damn bastard! At this, Noelle would also end up arriving to see all the chaos that was happening. However, all she would see was the bodies of Heath's men curling down on the ground, and Heath himself being sent flying. What happened here? At this, Asta would tell them the whole situation, with Magma, after hearing what happened, would then get pissed off even more, as he rushes over to Heath's down body. You bastard. You're gonna be taken away for a long time. I'll make you pay for what you done. At this, Magma would be glaring angrily at Heath. However, Heath himself was inside. We're already behind schedule, and we already failed this mission, so a proper punishment is required. So with this, Heath would then suddenly bite down on something, as well as the rest of Heath's men already knowing what the outcome was going to be. At this is when suddenly they would then be enveloped in ice shards themselves, with Asta, Magma, and Noelle all being surprised, with Asta dashing forward at top speeds. However, unfortunately, it was already too late, as Heath and his men would then suddenly end up getting destroyed into the ice, being killed off in an instant, leaving no trace or evidence behind of them even existing. No way. To go so far as to even murk yourself for this? These guys were insane. What exactly was their objective here? This also will be staring down at the ground coldly, as this will bring back quite a bunch of terrible memories, as he will realize just how far humanity will go, even to the point where they even harm themselves and bring others along with them. Asta will feel disgusted by this. However, eventually he then sighs, giving up, as right now there was no point in crying over it or focusing on it. He had better things to do, and he had needed to move on. So with that, he walks over to the rest of them, as he decides to help out the villagers while he still can. So after a while, the team ends up helping out the villagers, making sure that all of them are okay, with the villagers thanking them. They try to repay the Black Bulls, but everything was, taken care of, thanks to the goodness of their hearts, so they decide, the Black Bulls decide not to take any type of currency. However, at the same time, though, Asta was trying to figure out exactly what was the reason for all of this, exactly what was this magic stone. However, as Asta would think of this, though, this one you would then see Nero, as she would then make her way towards Asta while carrying a magic stone, to which Asta ends up actually seeing. Nero will make it land on his hand, to which Asta would of course thank her for it, to which Nero says nothing before landing back on Asta's head. You really are a mysterious individual, you know that? Nero says nothing, however, Asta just chuckles, telling her that he will be waiting for when she was going to open up to him. And after that, the Black Bulls will then return back. Now, we turn to when the Black Bulls eventually end up returning back and giving the mission report to Yami. Yami tells them that, sooner or later that he's going to report this to the Wizard King, but for now, he thanks them for their hard work and then goes off. And during the following days, as the Black Bulls were waiting for Yami's return, Yami will return back, telling them that they earned another star, and thanks to Asta's work, they actually had gone up back from the negatives and are now in the positives. Now, this tells them that from now on, things can only go up from here, and this causes the rest of the Black Bulls to be excited and also have a small little celebration. As we now turn to the Clover Kingdom, we will see Julius, who currently right now was sitting down, reflecting on the information that Yami had given him based on the report. Now, although the report does, make Julius question a lot of things, there was one thing that he could be grateful for, and it was the fact that the Black Bulls put a stop to whatever they were planning. However, at the same time while he was thinking this, he would also think about the Black Bulls' new recruit, aka Asta. Now at this, Julius will then get excited at the fact that, of Asta and his powers, as he got another report from Yami. And it was the fact that Yami had pretty much told Julius some things about Asta, telling him that his boy is quite a wild card himself, and that honestly he could already expect big things from him. Now at this point, Julius, after hearing that, would of course be interested, as he asked Yami what level Asta was currently, based on the information. Now hearing this, Yami actually took a few seconds to think about it before giving Julius a straightforward answer. I'm confident that kid can kick the butts of my squad and any other squad here. As for the captains, well, I'm not exactly sure what level he really is yet, as there's still he still is quite a mysterious little brat. But I can say this right now, as he is currently, he's far beyond any member of my squad, and in fact, he's far beyond any member of any other squad I've seen so far. And I can even say this with confidence that it will only take him a few months, if not weeks, to easily catch up to the level of captain, if he has not reached that level just yet. Now hearing this, Julius will be surprised, as he begins to blow off on multiple questions, asking him what he means by it, what is Asta's power, and what makes him so confident, but Yami says nothing more, telling Julius that he gets tired when he tries speaking like this. So with that, Yami ends up leaving, finally giving Julius the report, with Julius being nothing more but left behind with his thoughts about Asta. As we now turn to the present, we'll see Julius currently right now moping, as he was upset that he couldn't get any more information on Asta's power. However, this does excite Julius for the next future generation. To think that such talent will be arriving so soon. Not only do we have Asta, but we also have that one member of the Golden Dawn. It really is exciting. I wonder, how far can those two go? And in fact, how strong are they currently? Just as Julius thinks this, he will then get a request from Mark telling him to get back on work, to which Julius nods, telling him that he would do so. However, while doing so, he actually begins to think of a way to test this out. And what better way than a dungeon? As with those thoughts dancing in his mind, Julius then prepares for the next following events, already ready to see just how powerful this new generation is, and what potential they have to offer. What is Asta's reunion with Yuno gonna be like? And what is gonna be the interaction between the Golden Dawn and Asta? And finally, what's gonna be the fight between Asta and Mars? You guys can all find out all this in the next part, as this is your host, HD Samurai, and he's signing off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to really do the videos as I used to, and the reason for that was pretty simple. Whenever I go on break, I get off my rocker, and I get pretty much off track for a lot of times. It's gonna take a while for me to go back to how I was, but don't worry, I will do so. But still, guys, I'm really excited for the next part of this What If, as well as the next What If that I'm coming out tomorrow, as it will be the next part to What If that was Shisui's Reincarnation. You guys are liking that series. And overall, I thank you all so much for your support, as you guys have been amazing with it. Now, hopefully you guys will continue to support me and also give me some ideas. I've been reading the comments, guys, as even though I'm away, I do read the comments. And you guys come up with very interesting ideas. I also am thankful for the compliments too, as you guys are amazing, way more amazing than me. And I really hope you guys understand that. But besides that, guys, it is your host, HD Samurai. Your boy is kind of tired. And honestly, I'm trying to get back to how things were. So yeah, it's gonna take a lot of concentration. So with that, guys, hopefully you guys do enjoy yourselves. And either way, it's your host, HD Samurai, and he's signing off. Peace and have a lovely day.